Okay, so what's going on? How are we doing? I think your beer is not full enough. I think, can you tip it up a bit more?
Cheers.
Let's cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Kevin, thanks for coming down.
Cheers. 2 years?
2 years. Seems like 4.
Can you imagine 2 years ago we were talking about a brewery in its infancy, and we're here right now?
Where are your coasters? You're going to ruin your nice glass table without your coasters. So I got to teach you all the rules here. All right, so let's talk about a few things.
Yes.
All right, so we talked 2 years ago when this first began.
Yeah.
Right, so
Is it 2 years already?
That's 2 years. It's 2 years. Huh?
All right.
Right, so what do we know about the beer business that we didn't know 2 years ago?
It's a fun industry.
If you could roll back and change something that you have done
I know
to make business go smoother,
when we first
what do you guys
talked,
know now?
I was pretty regimental on what we did, right? And this is our core brand beer. I was pretty nervous. You know, there's that fire in your belly, going like you just opened a new company. We gotta pump out beer, and very proud.
Are the beer we make, are people gonna love it? Right?
That
was
was
a big deal, right?
Were you guys afraid of that?
We love it.
Oh yeah, there was always that sort of the devil on your shoulder going like, no, you're not going to make it, you're not going to make good beer, people aren't going to like it. And
so I think Maddie and the group just decided we're going to make the beer we like to drink, and the people that like that beer will find us.
How can you do it any other way though? Do you know what I mean? Like if you're making beer you don't like, how would you know if it's good?
Beer for no one.
Right.
Yeah, we went all in, and you can see what we have 2 years later. I know when we first started talking, actually, when we the first interviews that we did, you know, here's that shy
where
young
you
guy.
bought a T4 and we got completely hammered? Is that interview?
That was fun night.
Yeah, it's
It
good.
was fun. It was
Shy
fun.
15-year-old, no beard.
No one needs to know my age.
You're an 83-year-old Swedish man.
Got good hair. What can I
You got
say?
hair.
Well,
They keep
for another
warm.
week
Gotta
anyway.
keep
For another week.
For one more week.
Need a reindeer beer. Keep you warm.
But yeah, we when we first got into this whole thing, we didn't know what to expect, and I gotta say, like, I'm for myself, I don't know, but for you, very happy how things have gone.
Yep.
The friends that we've made,
Yep.
yourself included.
I'm not
right?
your friend.
It's an
Wow.
acquaintance.
I just want free beer. That's all I
Love
want.
you. The people that we met along the way, the things that we have done in a lot of the festivals, events, people have reached out to us. The fundraisers that we've done, like our foundation, you know, it's been a whirlwind 2 years. 2 years.
Are you where you thought you would be 2 years later, or did you have an expectation? Was it as free as
We
let's
kind
make
of
some
had a
beer?
roadmap,
Yep.
and we hoped to stick to the roadmap, but as with any road trip,
You kind
stuff
of
happens.
right.
You gotta, adjust on the way, and we did. I think the word these days is pivot. We pivoted. We came up with a few styles. We watch what happens globally in craft beer, and some of the beer we came up with we hadn't planned. In fact, last year we decided we have a big beer map over there, and we actually just laid it down on the bar, and we flipped
Paper
coins
clips.
over.
Paper clips, actually. We didn't have any money, so we did paper clips.
And then we had a bit of a debate on whether it was, marketable, if it was feasible from a cost perspective. Because some beer is quite expensive to make. But all in all, I think we've come up with a pretty good mix of beer. Over 100 beer we've brewed since we opened, either packaged or
Are you talking 100 different types of beer
different types and variations of those types.
in 2 years? That's a lot, eh?
Yeah.
More
So
than I think any other brewery in Manitoba.
Yeah. Perry has done a lot of work to doing a lot of experimentation in our brewing, which you can see on our small batch in our tap room. So we've done a lot of the experimentation, put it on draft, and a lot of people can enjoy it. And so yeah, we've really sort of spread out over the past 2 years. So we've done quite a few beers, which is amazing.
Let's talk about your role, because I know you love to brew beer, but your role has changed in 2 years.
It
So
has.
you started off as what, and now you are what?
Originally, I was going to be the head brewer to make all the beer going through the plant. Perry has stepped up, which is our head brewer, Perry Joel, and he's the one now that has taken over a lot of the, pretty much all of the responsibilities of brewing the beer and coming up with the research and development of the beers. And I have sort of sit back a little bit to actually just run the plant. So I'm kind of the operations manager. So looking forward, my goals are to reinforce everything that Perry has done, to do a lot of the sort of sourcing of ingredients and just the day-to-day brickwork to make the plant work, which gives Perry the flexibility and the ability to come up with all the different beers that we're enjoying. Especially, you know, we have Callahan here, which is a collaboration. We have Woody Belgian, which is one of our original beers. We have Mustard Point here, which is one of our beers for the summer pack. So him and Tyler, one of his brewers, they go ahead and they brew all these beers that we're enjoying right now.
And you are still El Presidente.
El Presidente, El Chapo.
El Chapo. And you're still doing a lot, well, tons of the marketing, because that is your background.
Yeah.
You're quite good at it. How is that going for you?
It's good. It's awesome. We work with some really good design folks, and it's all about screaming from the shelf. You still have to make good beer, but you know, shelf appeal, just like a good house, get a little good curb appeal.
A lot different now than it was even 5 years ago. Like when you go to the LC now, everybody is trying to do that. It used to be very plain and plain Jane cans. Now everybody's creative, right?
Yeah.
How do you stand out?
We spend a lot of time coming up with their names, some of the appeal, some of the material we actually print on, and the way we package. We came up with a 6-pack of a New England IPA this year. We did a snap pack, which was a snap lid, so it wasn't that what they used to call goose killers, right? It was the
Goose Killers?
yeah.
The plastic ones?
High cones, the original
Right.
high
We're
cones.
Oh, so the black
snap
ones.
lid now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we were using that. We encourage people to bring them back, and we're just continuing to push the envelope.
All
A lot
right.
of fun.
Let's talk about the charity work you guys have done. You've done a lot of it.
been
A lot of
a lot of
events.
fun.
Since day one. When we
Did you
started-
expect to do that? Or as the business
You know
has
what?
grown, people just bring it to you?
Kevin, we actually started out doing that. We, as owners, we were working in the tap room before we had staff. So we agreed that all our tips would go to charity. So every month we'd
From
pick
day
a
one.
charity. Every
Day
month
one.
we'd pick a charity. So I'd say, Matt, what do you believe in? It's your charity this month. Adam, what's your charity this month? What's my charity? So we'd raise up to $500 a month for these charities.
So in total right now, if you were, going to estimate how much money you've contributed just doing that, wow, that's pretty good.
Between foundation,
Yep.
2 years of foundation. We raised $10,000 last year for Habitat for Humanity.
Yep.
10,000 plus this year for Lyle Bowers Never Alone Foundation. We've done cancer care haircuts. We've done Coats for Kids. We've done Sunshine House. We've done Alzheimer's. We've done cancer care. You name it. We did
Quite a few times we've
Kids Initiative. We've done a lot of, and it actually, it's easy to do because you give back as you sell beer. You don't have to cut a check up front. People believe in what you're doing. You donate, and it's just the right thing to do. We can't expect people to buy and drink craft beer if we don't support locally.
Right.
So that's sort of a mantra we believe in, and
which we've been doing actually since day one, since we built the brewery.
it's just good karma.
Yeah.
Really, it doesn't hurt. It's just easy to give back.
The landscape for craft beer in the city has changed. A lot more breweries. You have your Manitoba Brewers Association. How has that changed for you as an individual brewer?
We've, there's a mobile canning line now, so a lot more people are packaging. We decided to package right from day one. And Manitobans are a transient sort of bunch. We like to depart on the weekends to campsites and cabins. We like to enjoy beer around the pool. We like
Going to the lake.
Going to the lake. You need a can. So there's 15 brewers in Manitoba now.
That's awesome.
We're all
Great
chipping away.
selection.
We're all chipping away though. We're still only 4% of the overall beer market in Manitoba.
So we have a
It's
long
just
way to
a matter of
go.
time.
Room for growth, and we're coming up with things like the Prost Beer Festival at the end of October, no, September, at Stone Angel. So that's all 15 of us are there. There's a cask night. All of us.
All 15 are going to participate in an event at Stone Angel.
At Stone Angel, yeah. So
Good size too. It's huge, right?
tickets are an event, right?
Yep.
And we're working with a big harvest. Speaking of charities, so portion of the proceeds are going to go to help feed the hungry. So it's just easy. It's just easy to get back. And Manitobans love craft beer. And the more they know about craft beer, the more they embrace it.
Okay, so that said, now you're 2 years in. You know a lot more. You know the landscape of Winnipeg and different craft breweries across Canada, Manitoba, wherever. Because I know you guys travel around and taste all sorts of beers because I see your postings on Instagram. Greedy bastards, you never invite me. How do you picture the next 2 years?
I think there's going to be an evolution. We see 15 right now. We know there's going to be more on the horizon. We're going to see craft brewing pretty much continue its growth in Manitoba. We see that in we've seen that in the East Coast, the West Coast, and we know that the population that we have will support growth for craft brewers. One of the biggest things, and you've been a big part of it actually, is the growth of craft brewers in Manitoba. As more people become educated and enjoy craft beer, we're going to see the acceptance of it and more support for all the brewers that we have here. So we're going to just see a continuous growth, which is going to be fantastic for us as a craft brewer, for the Manitoba Brewers Association, for the industry in itself, and there's going to be more people supporting it.
One of the brewers at the Winnipeg Beer Festival, before it actually began, everybody was setting up, was saying to me, part of craft brewing right now is education. Said his girlfriend grew up in the States, in a place where there were a lot of craft breweries. So when you're getting beers when you're younger, she was getting it from a gas station, but it was different craft breweries that existed in that state. So she knew what IPAs were and wheat beers and all that kind of stuff. Whereas here in Winnipeg, it's still educating a lot of people on what those kind of beers are. Do you guys find that that's the same thing for you guys?
Definitely. I think a lot of people still, they hear of an IPA and they're like, oh, I don't like bitter beers, but IPAs, they range from, especially now, like one of the most recent releases are, hazy IPAs, and people sort of
like an intro to IPAs, right?
Exactly. A lot of people, they kind of like, well, I don't like dark beers, I don't like heavy beers, and they're surprised when they actually go to a lot of the tastings and they find like, well, I actually enjoy that. So I think a lot of people kind of have the idea that craft beers, especially say IPAs or stouts that have too much flavor, I'm not going to enjoy them. But they need to actually be exposed to them before they actually enjoy them.
So
and when they do,
sorry to interrupt you.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
No, yeah,
3-year-old Icelandic man. What
Santa.
we're trying to do, actually, on that note, is to educate folks. And you see more and more of their beer dinners, where you educate the brewers come in. We talk about the beer, the chef integrate into the cuisine. It's paired with complements different meals.
It's literally like a wine tasting. It's the same
It
thing.
really is. It's come to that, right? So there's nuances. IPAs from Alexander Keith's to an England IPA, completely different. Why is one beer dark and not strong, and why is a peach-colored beer super strong? So it's all about perception and education. So everyone if we can impart a little bit of education into people about, don't be afraid of this dark beer. It's a British mild, right? It's dark, but it's 4%.
one thing you're going to find from a lot of craft breweries too, when you go to their tap rooms, is actually, could I try a sample? Just, I'm not going to buy a flight, but can I have a little sip of
We dram.
a wee little bit?
Hang on, that's the best part of craft beer. You can't go to a macro brewery or go to the LC and say, hey, can you
Can I
crack
have
that
a little-
open, please? I just have a little taste of that before I buy it, right?
The beauty of the tap room is
happen.
you can come in, you can actually try a little snippet of it and say, okay, I'm not a fan of
We do
this.
that
Can
a
I
lot
try
here in
something?
Torrey.
Do you really?
Yeah, folks will come in. So we have a Danger Bay, which is a Belgian triple. It's 9%.
See, I love Belgian beer for that reason.
That is a 9% beer.
But it doesn't taste like it when you
But
sip
it looks like that.
Yes.
Right?
All
It's like
sneaky.
It's like a tree frog. It's beautiful but deadly.